Moronics. This is the Three Morons podcast. My name is Zach.
I'm Mr. Google.
And I'm Carl. It's the first time actually had the three of us, and we got Mr. Google in the middle tonight.
It's me. Well, I think it was like one or so, but usually Mr. Google's filling for me or you.
Mm-hmm.
Usually Jake has been here, but yeah, he is off tonight. He decided he wanted to take a day off.
No days off in baseball.
Hey, he's on a date. Let's not lie to our viewers.
No.
Earlier we made a joke, no crying in basketball, unless you're LeBron James.
Yeah, there's a lot of crying there.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of basketball, do you want to start off with basketball?
Yep. The NBA. You guys were talking last week about the Milwaukee Bucks, and I wanted to bring a kind of a take into it. You know how they started off bad, now they're doing well. Let's not forget. I mean, I know we don't like LeBron, but the Heat teams each started like a few games below 500. Like they started off like 2-12 that first season. I know they lost to Google's Mavericks in the finals that year, but it takes time for these teams to figure things out. Maybe getting rid of Darvin was what they needed. I mean, we all know how Doc Rivers performs in the postseason.
Yes, so it's not going to change there, right?
But it's good that they're coming around and doing okay. And I don't think they're the elite contender because you got to be able to beat Cleveland and Boston in 4 games. I think that's going to be your conference.
4 times.
Well, it's 7.
You got to beat them.
You got to beat
four
them
times.
You got to beat them 4 times, yes.
I mean,
So in 4 games, you got to beat them.
Yep,
Knicks are
and
good
that's not
too.
easy to do.
Magic are looking all right, but Milwaukee's right up there too. And another team that's really surprising is the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
And wow, what a turnaround from them. Jay said we got a special hello from his dad, who is a Detroit native, so that's kind of why it's in the Pistons.
Detroit native. Hey, we are following that Detroit Lions game. Jay, I know we were talking earlier. I did not hit on my bet because for a touchdown.
We don't encourage that. But.
Yeah, we don't encourage gambling. We don't want to get our viewers need help. They do the need help hotline. Maybe we need to start doing that. We get sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, go ahead and sponsor us. I use you lose a lot of money to you. So
yeah,
I get bad bets. So sponsor us. You'll make money.
You see
I
bad
don't know
beats?
about a lot, but
Bad beats. Bad beats.
Bad bets.
I say best because this is beats taken by Scott Van Pelt and them.
Yeah. Who was at the game?
Yeah, he was because they got ESPN now.
Yeah.
We're going up against Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt.
He is doing bad. But getting back to basketball, the West, I was watching the other night.
Thunder's got it.
Oh, Thunder is just they wiped the table with Cleveland.
I mean, they beat Cleveland. They lost to them a week before that. But the best in the West and the best in the East, and they're the 2 best teams. It's probably like, they're number 1 in the West right now. They would be a first round bye, or they're the second best team. And then Cleveland said the best team in the NBA, number 1 in the East. Well, no crap. You just said the best team in the NBA. Why do you need to put on there as a graphic best in the East?
that's in the East, yeah.
Because clearly, if you're the best in the NBA, you're going to be the best in your conference.
What? No. Nope, can't believe that one.
I saw that at the gym. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I think I've seen ESPN ever put on their thing.
Yeah.
We've already talked about
Or was it was TNT maybe?
Yeah.
We've already talked about Go ahead.
I was gonna say I hate watching Dallas implode. It's really irritating me. I know they're staying above 500, but they were 12 games above 500 at one point. They're only 3 games above 500 now.
I mean, they're going to get streaky. I mean, here's the thing, this is why no one cares about regular season basketball.
Yeah.
Get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? So if you get in the playoffs, we've seen it before. You could run through people. And maybe that's what Dallas is doing.
Yeah.
Jason says it's not called gambling.
It's called
It's
wagering.
wagering.
It's called giving money away.
Yeah, basically.
It's called charity where you might get something back. You
Yeah.
might get a return on investment.
Right. I like
Real quick though, I want to ask Jay how his 16 pick parlay is doing for that 5,000.
Yeah, he shared that to us this morning.
I don't know if he lost it yet or not.
Is it college basketball or is it NBA?
I think there was a little bit of everything. There was NFL, there was NBA. I think he was going through the games and picking.
Yeah.
We got Google's got the stuff on its phone. We got a couple games. We're not following. We just got a little score on it. I can't believe that 76ers are 15-24.
I know, right?
That's horrible.
Was
I'm not gonna give the scores, but I'm just saying.
Did you
That's
saw
terrible.
the speaking of basketball, Brooklyn lost by 60?
Yeah.
It's the worst loss in franchise history. It was
Sorry,
60.
Jay.
It was 68 to 126.
Yeah.
Bad.
Jason said he lost the first game.
Oh dang.
Another one I could add is the records. I mean, we already talked about the Wizards, but I did mention Detroit. They're 21-21.
Yeah.
They've only won 14 last year.
Indiana's 23-19. Not too bad.
Speaking of Indiana, this is basketball. Did anyone else see Caitlin Clark at the Chiefs game?
Oh yeah.
Don't know why she's Taylor Swift's buddy up,
Her
but
new bestie.
I know she was a Chiefs fan, but I think she's.
I didn't know she was a Chief. Maybe that's why. Maybe Taylor Swift, again, you're doing so much for WNBA. You're a Chiefs fan. Chase and Kelsey doesn't want to sit in the box with me. He wants to be with the people and drinking beer and go shirtless.
Well, he's working the game. He was doing the ESPN telecast.
Yeah.
He can't go shirtless, but he's doing a job.
I mean, he can.
Well, he can, but
There's always
he
consequences.
did bring up the tip thing in that opening game against San Francisco and the Jets.
Ooh.
Luggage.
And he had to go get a shirt from one of the local establishments. in
Oh
San Francisco.
no.
Yeah.
So he like really shrunk out because it was hot. He's like, yeah, my tits were hanging out. Freaking, I think it was Ryan Clark or Scott Van Pelt. I think it's the worst time tits ever been said on ESPN.
Probably has. Probably was.
I don't know. Pat McAfee's on ESPN,
Yeah,
so
That's true.
who knows what he says?
Yeah, Pat McAfee's a.
But no, you're making a thing about the Bucks. You're talking about just pretty much gelling together, right?
Yeah, gelling together, getting it together. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, as long we got 16 teams out of 30 that make the playoffs. You mentioned it before. NBA Cup, nobody gives a crap about.
No,
We don't care about the regular.
I'm a Bucks fan. I already don't even care.
Next-
Now I helped
next-
them turn it around,
Yes.
and that's good for the cup, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, a team is struggling. They come in and they start winning the cup. They're winning games. Now, granted, it's not cup. It's cup regular game, and then cup games were like what, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Any other day it was a regular game. So it's not like they're continuously just
The
doing the
NBA
cup.
Cup, the NBA Cup is so bad it's on the day.
But because they were
Definitely
getting the
didn't watch.
wins in the NBA Cup, it
Right.
just helps their regular game. So it's
Right.
getting gelling together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't happen with the Lakers last year.
No, it didn't. It was a first round exit to the Denver Nuggets. That's where you're.
After playing,
After
they won the cup, and they were a playing team.
Yeah.
Really.
Milwaukee's gonna won the cup, and they're probably get like 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
So they're clearly in the playoff.
Yep.
And we're talking about, and if anyone wants to watch it, didn't watch previous episodes, but we mentioned on a previous episode that maybe whoever wins the NBA Cup, there's a special thing at the end of the season. So if you end up, say you're the Milwaukee Bucks and you're in the playoffs, and you were number 7 seed. Instead of playing the playing game, you automatically get in the 6th seed gets the playing game, right? Just so people who are going to be in the playoffs try harder in the cup, right?
Right.
Because they're trying to figure out how do we get, because they're still not trying or people are still not watching. And if you win the cup and maybe you're not going to make the playoffs, right? At the end of the season, you don't make the playoffs, and you're one of the bottom 5 teams.
Yeah.
You get the first round pick or the first pick overall. That way, people try in the cup. Because they're still doing load management, not trying hard, because teams that are going to make the playoffs are still coasting because they don't care about the NBA Cup. You think they care about what, a $550,000 bonus?
No, not at all.
You know who would care about a $50,000 bonus? Someone like Brock Purdy or whoever's making $700,000 a year.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, who doubles her salary.
Mm-hmm.
Bronny James, he's still making like $50 million.
That dude. Yeah.
No, he was a 2nd round pick, so he makes like $10 million, right?
Bronny James is a big
So those people would care. The people making minimums and stuff like that. Do you think someone like Giannis who's making $35 million a year going to care about $50,000 or $500,000?
Not at all.
No.
He could donate that to one of his back in Akron.
I know it's only $50 million, right? But like the other day or whatever, I was listening to Bobby Bones. They're talking about how much $1 billion is, right? And to spend $1 billion, it would take you, if you spend $1,000 a day, it would take you like 2,000 years or something.
270 years.
Yeah, 270 years if you spend $1,000 a day. It was like a ridiculous number where you're never gonna spend it.
Right.
So yeah, it's not that much, but just imagine making $50 million and you're not. Eventually, you get everything you need.
Yeah.
You're not spending the money.
No.
Yeah.
Eventually, like your first year, you're probably spending the $50 million on your house, your car, your this and that fees. But then eventually, you just create it. So you think someone cares about $50,000 that you can find in your couch cushion?
Right.
Like Taylor Swift makes $1 billion her net worth.
Mm-hmm.
They said a $40,000 car is spending $40. So
Yep,
again,
is.
Yeah.
for a billionaire, it's like $40. So someone making $50 million might be like $500. Like it's ridiculous to even think they're going to try for $50,000.
Right. No.
And make your point, I actually heard this on the radio a while back about the difference between a million and a billion. It's talking about a million seconds. That takes 11 days.
I think that was on Bobby Bones' show.
35 years for a billion seconds. That's the difference between a billion and a million.
And everyone out there listening, by the way, if we're getting better at podcasting, we have nothing to do at work besides listen to podcasts.
Yeah. I listened to a couple while I'm down doing the water treatment rounds.
I've been listening to a few, like Bobby Bones has one with Matt Castle now for NFL. Yeah. It's by the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of sports and stuff. So you get a little bit more football talk.
A little sports into his morning podcast.
Right, because he has 25 whistles. I like to see some more about basketball and hockey, so that way we can get a little bit more educated on that.
I mean, we got to support somebody else besides the University of Arkansas. I know that's your alma mater, but get a better team, bro.
That's not even his alma mater.
Arkansas?
No, he didn't go to Arkansas, I don't think.
Where did he go?
He's just from Arkansas.
Well, their basketball team is way better than the football team.
Right, but he's from that, and that's his team that he cheers for. I don't think he actually went there.
I can't really say enough because I like Michigan.
I don't know, Bobby Bones, if you ever watch, let us know.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I was going to say that's probably a hard no.
I can call him to find out if he actually went there. He'll answer that question.
Yeah.
Did you ever really go there? But, well, I mean.
He got a doctorate and an honorary degree from there.
Well, that's good. That's good thing.
But yeah, so basketball, though, to me, it's looking like someone who doesn't watch basketball too much. That the team coming out of the West, at least, is going to be clearly Oklahoma City unless they fumble.
I could see it in one. Yeah, I mean, Houston, I think Jake brought that up last week, because Houston is a surprise. Don't say this in the wrong way. Houston could lose in the first round, and that's not a bad thing for being a number 2 seed. They're a young team, inexperienced. They got to figure things out. Like Sacramento.
Henderson State
University is where Robert Bones went to college. It's a.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a college in Arkadelphia. Arkansas.
Yeah, I know it's in Arkansas. I know he went to Arkansas because he's from Mount Pine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the East, though, is almost every year, the East is kind of up for grabs between 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah.
It seems like the West is usually, unless they stumble, right? Like even when Golden State won a few years back, they weren't the clear favorites to win. Someone else was.
Yeah. And
they got eliminated, I think, by someone, and then Golden State had a better path.
I think the West is more competitive than the East.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like the NFL where the AFC and the NFC, you got a clear-cut favorite. Right.
Also look at the number of large market teams you have in the East compared to the number of large market teams you have in the West. And that's why you have the disparity. Because you have a lot of money, a lot of large market teams in the West compared to the East. You've only got 3 or 4.
See, to me, large market doesn't mean you have more money to spend on cap.
But why is Memphis in the West?
It's
tell me that one, right?
It's baseball. Baseball is all about how much money you have. They don't really have a salary cap. You pay a little luxury tax, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
NBA, I think, is the same way, luxury tax, but there's more money with ownership in baseball.
True, but you've only got 5 players as opposed to
Ben Maller
30-something.
Ben Maller says this best about NFL and other teams. The salary cap's stupid.
Yes.
Because people just move it around. There's no such thing as a real salary cap. There's a real salary cap. Some of these players, like Pat Mahomes, want to be getting $500 million.
Right, and that's why
$50 million a year. But yet they move stuff around to where they can still get other people.
Right, and that's why Brady was around for so long. And because
Brady also took a pay cut.
Right. Yeah. Well, did he take a pay cut or just move that money back?
No, they took pay. He was never the top 5 usually, no, top 2.
Right.
And paid quarterbacks. And he could have easily been number 1 by far.
Oh yeah.
What he did was, hey, I'll take a little bit less money if you. He told Belichick, who was the GM, which makes sense. You tell your head coach who's a good head coach, like Andy Reid.
Right.
Andy Reid could be the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone who's good. You can't just, like Bill O'Brien was a good head coach. You go, oh, here's the GM. And he ran that team to the ground for a little bit.
Right. The head coach. Anyway, go ahead.
So Brady was like, hey, you put this money towards Gronk, Edelman, the offensive line, other people.
Mm-hmm.
I will take less money.
Yeah.
And that's what they did, and that's why they won championships.
Yeah.
Because Brady wasn't all about the money. Brady's like, I want to win. I want to win more Super Bowls than anybody. I want to prove that we are a great team.
Yep.
And he was a team player.
Right.
To me, when we talk about the greatest of all time, everyone's talking about numbers. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going Rodgers.
Yeah.
With a lot of stats, like touchdown to interception ratio. Right, not just about yards, touchdown interception ratio, not about winning Super Bowls.
Right.
If you're talking about quarterbacks, you got to go by quarterback stats.
Yeah.
to me, the greatest of all time for Tom football would be Tom Brady because of what he did behind the scenes to keep that team together and understand how do we win games.
Yep.
That's why I think Tom Brady would always have been a great GM. Who would always be a great, maybe coach, but GM or front office guy because he can understand to win games. You don't pay these people like Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, $45 million because that's what the market says.
Right.
Have they proven they could come out and win clutch games?
Right. No.
I mean, Dak Prescott, I bring it up a lot, but when it's you can blame McCarthy, whoever, but when you're playing playoff football, do you run up the middle when you have no timeouts left with 30 seconds, 20 seconds?
Dallas.
Yeah, Dak Prescott does it, and to me, that's when he lost
lost
credibility as an elite quarterback because you can't make the right decisions.
Right.
You're a good quarterback because you can win games, but you can't make the right choices.
True.
Right.
And yeah, I follow you there, but I think speaking of Tom Brady taking pay cuts, right? What's the difference between a good offensive lineman and an elite offensive lineman? Usually about $800,000, right?
Sure.
And if Tom Brady's given up $7 million, that's about 9 of those guys.
Yeah.
And 9 elite guys, right?
You're a whole offensive lineman plus maybe a receiver.
Correct.
Or a running back.
Right, a good third receiver.
And I know we got off a little bit topic, but let's jump to this part. Who won the one that they came back, right? The Falcons.
Yeah.
Even Tom Brady said this person should have won MVP. Do you know who that guy was? He was a running back.
Who was their running back?
I'll give you a hint. From Wisconsin.
James White.
Yeah.
He had touchdowns. He had the touchdown in overtime, right? You take a pay cut, maybe you pay a guy like him. Now, I'm not saying him, but you give a little bit more money to your running back because, hey, he also helps me because it helps create passing game. It helps create play action.
Yep.
He's also a blocker. Right? It's not just so you money to the offensive line, you give a little bit of money to the running back to keep up, and maybe a receiver.
Get money on the defensive side.
Right.
Well, yeah, Belichick's a defensive guy. You pay McCourty, you pay who was
they brought in, remember that 07 season, they brought in Junior Seau with Alias Thomas. Rodney Harrison was already there.
Who am I thinking the linebacker?
What team? With New England?
Teddy
Bruschi?
Yeah, you pay people like him, right? They're great linebackers. They're great. I mean, great. You're not paying guys in millions. You pay the defensive line, the linebackers.
Yeah.
But you don't make the defensive backs who make the bigger money sometimes.
Right. Well, as a quarterback, I would rather give up some money to be able to have a solid line.
Right. And then you also got to get defense because a great offense is a great defense. So if you're playing a great offense, you want a great defense to keep the ball away from them.
Yeah.
And maybe give you a break.
Right.
Hey, a great defense who can bend a little bit, get you a little breather.
Yeah.
If your offense is struggling, give you a little bit of breather, but they get the ball back without them scoring.
Right.
The Patriots are the greatest basketball team of all time.
Did you say that? Did you just say that? What?
The greatest basketball team.
Because we're talking about basketball, we the Patriots.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What about not only that? I was going to bring this up. Just a topic, not how I actually feel. Backup quarterback.
Who, Brady?
You're paying a backup quarterback to learn behind Brady.
Yeah.
You have the money to do that.
You do.
Yeah, if you did, yeah.
And if you could bring,
they had a great one. We'll talk about this if we want to more, maybe.
All right.
But a great backup that could have been more successful in New England than anywhere else. We all agree. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Garoppolo should have been good,
but Brady was threatened and was not ready to go.
Right. So that being said, is that Zoe?
Yeah, we'll have we're introducing a new segment a little bit later called Zoe's Corner. She'll get a minute to talk about whatever.
And right now she's annoying us because she thinks that we're so far down. We're still on the first topic.
Right.
Yeah. Which I guess we got to wrap that up though.
Yeah.
No, it's not like we're still talking about the NBA anyway. NCAA basketball.
That's why I put the second, right? It's just a quick touch.
Well, let's just say this. What if LeBron did do that? Do you think he has more championships?
What, took a pay cut?
Take pay cut, you could pay.
If he does it now, yes, he can win more, right?
Yeah.
He needs to take a pay cut. I don't even know if Anthony Davis is still on the team, right? I don't hear much about Anthony Davis.
No.
No. I think it's just more of a popularity contest when it comes to the All-Star game because Giannis and Davis are like leading vote getters.
How is Davis a lead vote? I didn't know he was still playing.
No, I haven't even seen a highlight of him all year. What is he doing?
He must not be getting injured.
That's good.
or maybe he's getting injured. It's the norm for him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we just know him as the norm. I mean, the Lakers are still, I think, in the playoff, the playing game picture, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and then
But yeah, it's coming to that time here at the end of January, beginning of February, where basketball is going to be more on our radar.
yep.
Especially NBA kicking up here about a couple more months for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now, these games are now starting to mean something. You might see a little bit like your Dallas is faltering, right? But now they're probably going to get that push up to kind of get their energy level back up and get ready for the playoffs before they go back down again. Let's coast a little bit more, just to secure the spot of not being in the playing game.
Right.
So now all about the playoffs is, since there's 10 teams that make it, including the play, because you do the play-in, you got 9, 10 and 9 and 8 and 7. You just need to make the playing game.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bottom of the teams that are going to make it, now the teams that are most likely going to make the playoffs, all they're doing is securing the spot not in the playing game, right? Don't be number 7 or lower. So you might get Dallas starting to do that push here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Bucks keeping that push.
Well, problem with Dallas is they've put themselves in a position where they're paying their 3 big players the most or so much, and they don't have any good.
Clay, right? Is Clay one of those 3 now?
Yeah.
So it's Clay, it's Kyrie, and
It's Luka, right? And they're paying them so much money that they can't afford to have decent backups behind them.
His name is Luka.
Yeah. So they're when those guys are out, they lose.
Yep.
They had an issue about 3 weeks ago where Luka was out with an injury. They were resting Clay, and they couldn't win. They could not win.
You can't just win with Kyrie either.
Right. No. Kyrie never was able to win basketball games.
So
also on that is, I got my take on this. The first pick, everybody says you have to take for the first pick.
Yeah.
I think you should have a game for that. You need to be able to earn that. Why would you go garbage season like Detroit Pistons did, or how the?
I don't think anyone really tanks for the first pick.
No.
They might tank,
But I think they should earn it to earn the franchise player.
Yeah.
I think
Have a game where winner gets number 1 pick. Where like, okay, let's just say we'll just throw LeBron out there, like Cavaliers and let's say Rockets at that time we're going to be back going for the number 1 pick. Okay, well they sucked all season, had 10 wins. This other team had 11, and all of a sudden now LeBron's just going to get drafted by the Cavaliers because they sucked all season. No, I want to make them earn the number 1 pick.
Well, I like the fact
that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they do the.
I'm just using that as an example.
No, I hear you, but the lottery is a good thing, right? Because it prevents you from doing that.
a lot of people think it's rigged, right? Because you have the worst team, right? Which Cavaliers have a better chance, right? Maybe 10% instead of 8% or whatever, 8 whatever.
But they do it live in front of people.
But people think they actually put more in than they should because how convenient Cleveland was the worst team and got the hometown hero. Right? No, there's been theories on it.
Sure. Right. I mean, there's all kinds of theories.
Like Orlando was the worst team, but let's put Shaq in a bigger market than maybe Orlando's a bigger market than what Milwaukee would have been. So let's put Shaq in the bigger market.
Right. And I've also heard rumor that since they opened up sports betting in America, that the NBA, that none of the major sports are real anymore.
They're
all narrative driven by.
Chiefs get all the calls, right?
I mean, that's what I hear.
I mean, besides when the player got rung up by the neck on a field goal and didn't get called for holding.
Yeah, but he wasn't a major player.
Right. No, that's right, because the guy from Wisconsin blocked.
Correct. So anyway, so it's NCAA basketball. Let's move on.
Let's go.
So
pretty much we're going to touch quick on this.
Right.
Jay mentioned about how Florida is doing decent. Wisconsin just won their 7th in a row.
Yeah.
I know there's a guy at Zoe's basketball game who is a Michigan fan. They're doing pretty dang good. They're not. Are they ranked yet? Yeah, they're like 23. But they just lost, so they'll probably go down.
They lost in overtime to Minnesota.
See, Wisconsin just needs to win on Tuesday, even though the rankings come out Tuesday morning to keep their up. And a lot of people lost that were below that.
Yeah. But it doesn't even matter these first 2 games anyway. It didn't matter until about 4 games, 5 games before the.
To be honest, it doesn't matter.
Madness.
It doesn't matter for a lot of these teams. Like it's not gonna matter for Michigan. It's not gonna matter for Wisconsin the rest of the season, as long because they're gonna get wins until conference tournament time.
Right.
Maybe looking on that bubble. Let's say Michigan's on that bubble.
Yep.
Right. They win 3 games in the conference tournament. They're in.
Yeah.
They're in the big dance, right? Because they're gonna win a couple games before them.
Yep.
Wisconsin, right? Say Wisconsin gets on that bubble. As long as they win like 2 or 3 games in the conference tournament, they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They might be a 12 seed, but they'll be in. but chances are they're ranked right now. They're probably going to make it.
Right.
I want to say this: we got to play Bama in the tournament. We beat them. I'm gonna do this to Bama fans. We owned you.
You have to.
We owned
Basketball
you.
and football.
Yeah. I don't think Bama's gonna be making the tournament though. I don't know.
They're ranked.
They're ranked.
They were. They were ranked
It would
like
probably be
3 or
like
4, and they lost to someone who was like way lower than them.
potential Sweet 16 matchup then.
Yeah, they're going to be in.
Yeah, they'll be in.
SEC's decent in basketball this year.
No, we got to reseed it like the college football playoff 1 through 16 of all the conferences.
Auburn's up there, Tennessee's up there,
Tennessee lost
Bama's
today.
up there,
Yeah.
Kentucky's up, Florida's up there. Yeah,
Iowa
I'm
State
saying
lost today,
SEC, Texas is I think up there.
Yep.
SEC is pretty good. I don't know if Oklahoma's up there this year.
Oklahoma's
usually up
I
there.
know you don't like
But
Arizona,
SEC is
Oklahoma's
SEC
usually a
is
good basketball school.
great in basketball. I think A&M's up there.
Yep.
Vandy's usually decent in basketball.
Vandy, yeah, they have been recently. They weren't back in the day.
ACC, I mean, you still got UNC, Duke,
Right.
NC State.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised that Duke's actually
Florida State,
continuing as
Miami,
strong as they
Virginia is
are.
usually decent.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Duke's as strong as they are after Coach K left.
Well, case in point, like we'll see how Bama football does after Nick Saban leaves. It'll take us a little dip.
And this year,
Duke-
missed the playoff. 1 year without Saban, no playoff.
I make a comparison because Duke did the same thing, and
Takes
now
time.
it takes time, and they're now coming back.
Yeah,
It depends. I think again, Caleb DeBoer's different culture, so it's
Yeah.
going to take a while because
Yeah.
a lot of the guys that were still there are Saban guys.
Right.
Yep.
Jay says Florida's going to the Final Four. That's
Facing Wisconsin.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, look, I know Duke's your team, but I was mentioning to him. He goes, "I don't like Duke guys." I said, "F Duke, all right," because then we all know why. The 2015 national championship when we were up by
You
like
like Duke?
Yes.
when we were up by 10 and we lost by 10. So
This is
F
my
Duke.
last podcast, guys, so it's all right. So it's good to go.
Mr. Google's last podcast. He'll be in the background messing with the
So I don't really hate Duke. I'm just mad at Duke because of Wisconsin.
I have a fun
But like if
story
it's
about
Duke UNC,
Yeah.
I still cheer for Duke. And maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Like when I lived in North Carolina, I think there's just also more Duke fans.
Oh yeah. Of course. Duke's
But I
in
think
North
that's
Carolina.
why I always
Right.
chose like out of the North Carolina teams, I chose NC State because it's like for football and everything, they're
Right.
decent. Well, not the year I went, but they played like a high school team for football. But that's not the point. I went to them versus Louisville. It looked like 2 high school teams out there was bad.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story about Duke. Jay might be able to know what I'm talking about here because we got told this one time we're working back in the kitchen in Florida. Guy went in. This guy's name is Flip. He went in to go get some breakfast. He's wearing his Duke hoodie, and he ran into some Kentucky fans.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, Duke, huh? Big, rivalry. 'Cause,
Yep.
they want to go after each other. And
Oh, they
Flip's
just
like,
scored.
I'm a big
Detroit?
Duke fan because
Oh,
I like him in basketball, but
It's not there yet.
I like him in basketball, and
Yeah.
And the guy,
Who
the
scored?
old lady,
Didn't say.
the old lady, and the old guy was like, you know what? You can't spell Duke without UK.
Oh, that's pretty good actually. Jay Gibbs left for 1 yard touchdown.
Of course he did. That's 2 of my 4 that would have scored. Stupid Pacheco. All I need now, if I'm on around saying Brown scores,
Yeah.
Pacheco could fall off the face of the earth for all I care.
Yeah. Gibbs. Yep.
Gibbs TD. So another thing that I'm gonna
Another
say
thing about Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
I actually took some Kentucky basketball players and stuff because they were doing the some of the tournaments in Greensboro.
Yeah.
So Kentucky was there,
right.
and I took them, and they saw my Wisconsin, and they were still mad about 2015 when they were undefeated and Wisconsin beat them to go to the national. I think they either beat them to go to the national championship or
I
the
think so,
Final
yeah,
Four.
the
Right.
Elite Eight
So
matchup.
you're welcome for that because they think they would have automatically won the national championship if they would have got past Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I said, well, you
Why
didn't
you
get past
play that?
us, and we didn't get past Duke, so what makes you think you would have beaten Duke?
Yeah. That's one of the things why you play the games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's my story about Kentucky. I took some of the fans, 2 years ago, and they're still mad about 2015. I'm like, dude, get over the past. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm mad about Duke, but we were in the
Yeah.
championship
It was
game.
like 7 years ago.
And I was number 3 in the March Madness pick at work.
Yeah.
The 2 people ahead of me picked Duke.
Hmm.
Right, so
Yeah.
so it automatically finished 1, 2, and then I finished 4th. So I didn't
Yeah.
get any money because the person behind me picked Duke. So
Gotcha.
Wisconsin would have picked 1, I would have won the pot.
Nice.
I needed Wisconsin to win, so I lost money on that. Well, not money, but
Now that's the real story why he doesn't like that game.
I mean, also you put the $5 in at work, and everyone gets a chance.
Yes.
Everybody does like an office pool when it comes to that, and who knows who wins.
Yeah.
Gonzaga's always a freaking choke artist.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
If you think Gonzaga to ever win,
I mean, they didn't make it against Baylor back in 2020.
but did they win it?
No.
Exactly.
Baylor crushed them.
Yeah.
The Baylor Bears.
2020
Hey,
COVID year.
Baylor's been decent, man.
Yeah. I was happy Baylor won.
Oh.
Everybody's talking, Gonzaga's this, Gonzaga's that. I'm like, no, I'm not sold. Not so fast.
College basketball for a little bit.
We're just going off of our own.
I know.
My team lost to Louisville because the Dukes happened to lay it down, and then they flew.
Ooh, that was a terrible injury. Oh my God, I still remember that one.
Kevin Ware, remember that?
Yes.
That was terrible. I wasn't mad about that loss. We made it. I don't really damn.
Well, he was looking like a #1 pick, man. He was going to be like the #1 pick in the draft, and he broke his leg in half. And it was like, oh my God.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, we lose to Villanova. They couldn't stop making threes.
Yeah.
I went to the national.
Yeah, I hate it when I can't stop making threes.
Oh.
Speaking of making threes, the other day Wisconsin won 106 last week, 116 to 80 something to Iowa.
Oh yeah.
Both points scored in a Big Ten game. 116 for Wisconsin. They made 21 threes. Wisconsin did.
Good Lord.
I think they were like 50% from the 3-point line. I mean,
I think Luke Fickell should go to that game. Like, how do I score?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey,
how do you get your team to actually, play?
Yeah. And that's a big question.
But
so now the NHL.
And I want to bring this up. We keep bringing in the Rangers. Do they need to make a head coaching change?
I said that last year when they were winning. Every time they lose, this guy doesn't want to make a change, and he looks confused on why they're losing. He's just like, chewing that gum, get this blank stare. It doesn't mean. I mean, he does make some line changes.
Well, yeah, you got to make subs.
So no, I mean like before the games, like this line is not working.
Yeah,
hasn't worked in a couple of games. Let me change a little bit. But something needs to be done because I know when we're on that losing streak, we kind of got off that big losing streak, so it's kind of this and that. I do understand that Kreider was a healthy scratch during that.
Oh, was he really?
And we thought he was going to get traded.
Yeah.
That was in the rumors. He did not get traded. He came in, made a goal. I knew he had a goal streak, but he chose to sit a healthy scratch. So it's like, okay, is that management or is that a coach thing?
Right.
Why is he wanting to sit?
Mm-hmm.
Is that maybe the team by let me sit because I'm one of the captains or one of the of the locker room? Let me sit to light a fire under that.
Yeah.
Right.
But when he came back, he scored a goal and stuff. But they need to start getting back on that, right? Another thing is we talk about Shesterkin and everything, and I do look. It's a lot of shots on goal though sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're in the power play, they're getting like one shot on goal, but yet they're allowing like 12 shots on goal.
Right.
Like you can't allow 12 shots on goal in a period and you get 2. Like that's not winning formula.
No,
you got to give your chance. A goalie percentage to save is 95%. It's usually great, right? 90s and up, right?
Yeah.
In some of his games, he allows 4 goals. He still has 90%.
Yep.
That's a lot of shots on goal. He's still 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 5 or 6 goals allowed, and you're allowing 9. You're still doing 90%.
Yeah,
that's like 50 shots.
Yeah.
You can't win with 50 shots. I don't care how your defense is.
No.
So the offense needs to get better, but then the defense needs to do better. But I think it's more you need to have the puck in your zone and stop them from getting in your zone.
Right.
You need to be in their zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what we're getting down to now is, okay, can we get better on offense?
Yeah.
Our defense is doing the best they can, but if you're getting 40 shots on goal, even the defensive men can't help you there.
Right.
Because you're still getting shots on goal. That means they got the puck.
But the defensemen are the issue, right? Because they're allowing
the defensemen, but offense, right? Because that means if they're having all the puck time with the puck, right? That means the Rangers don't have time with the puck. That means there's a problem with offense then too.
Yeah.
See, it looks like defensive men because they're allowing 4 goals and 20-something shots, but then you also got to break it down even farther. Well, why are they getting 40 shots?
Right.
Why are they having out of 60-minute of ice time? Why do they have the puck 30 minutes, 40 minutes? Why are they having 40 minutes of ice time? Shooting time.
Yeah.
Why are they getting that many shots? And then you look at your shots to goal is like 20. Well, if they got 40, you got 20. There's also a problem on offense. There's a problem of keeping the puck in their zone.
Right.
If you look at zone time, I've looked at some of this. they got a lot of time in their zone, which means we're not doing in our zone, which means we're not doing our job staying in their zone or keeping it in neutral zone.
Well, and one of the things I want to look at is are they one of the most penalized teams in hockey?
They are becoming that. They are getting a lot of penalties.
Because that's not setting a goal yet for success either.
No, the other day in overtime, 3-on-3 hockey, right? It's 3-on-3 hockey. Oh, next thing you know, it's 4-on-3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of room. 4-on-3 is different than 5-on-4. There's still a lot of room to shoot.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't get 5-on-4. I thought they were about to get 5-on-3. I mean, can you imagine they thought there was going to be a penalty call, it wasn't.
Yeah. Could
you imagine 5-on-3? Like the game would be over in a second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then is their power play decent?
It used to be great. This year a little lacking. So I think a lot of it again is offense. Again, I've seen them go on.
I'll let you read that comment when he's done.
I've seen them do like 3 power plays in a game.
Yeah.
And get 2 shots on goal in 3 power plays.
Theoretically,
They get 2 shots on goal in 3 power plays. That's not good.
No.
I'm not.
No, your penalty killing is awful at that point.
Not your killing. You're just your penalty.
Yeah.
Killing's fine for the other team.
Well, no, I know.
I'm not saying this is a bad thing or like whatever it is. Well, I'm going to say it and I'll explain. Theoretically, when you have a power play, that's usually a break time for the goalie because you're supposed to be down in that zone.
Every once in a while, there's shorthanded goals.
There's got to be shorthanded
goals. But there's
goals,
a lot of times that they're allowing shorthanded opportunities, which means your offense is the problem.
That's like getting a touchdown with 10 men on the field.
Right.
Well, now I know how Jake feels.
Oh.
I'm just watching a freaking tennis game here, back and forth. That's all I'm doing. Now I know how Jake feels.
He's asking the questions. You're not saying nothing.
I can't because you won't shut your mouth.
That was hockey. You don't
I don't know nothing about hockey.
I don't know if we really have much about NHL besides that.
I just wanted.
I know you wanted to bring it up. That's why I put it up.
Yeah, we weren't going to talk about it, but I was just thinking that maybe a head coaching change. You got to look at everything as a whole, and if it comes down to the point that this team is 1-0 in the playoffs,
if they even get to the playoffs,
if
they don't make the playoffs, I think the coach gets fired.
And it's rebuilt
because it's like you had the same team as last year, but yet. And you made it. You're 1 game away
from going to the Cup final.
Well, not one.
Well, they were one series.
One series.
They would go 4-1 against Florida.
Yeah, they lost. They won 1 game.
I mean, you still made the conference final. I mean, that's not hard. That's not an easy task to do, even though they make it look so easy. What are you looking up?
Something.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna take a drink.
You do that.
Right time. So someone read the comment.
I want to bring this up.
So Jay says, speaking of college basketball, Carl.
Yeah.
Remember when we saw, in quotations, Michigan practice?
Yes. So we went to Detroit Thanksgiving weekend of 2016 to go watch the Lions and Vikings. Well, one of the days that we were just kind of goofing around. We went to Ann Arbor.
So you flew up to Michigan?
No, we drove from Florida.
Okay, but you went up to Michigan.
Yeah.
To watch a.
Not to watch. We were just spending a week up there.
Oh, so you didn't actually try to go to the game?
We were going to go to the game.
Like the actual field?
Yeah. We
didn't go though.
But we made it a whole week thing where the Thursday was the football game, but we're going to look for other stuff.
So you went to the game though?
Yes.
So you've been to Ford Field?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we went to Ann Arbor, didn't realize Ann Arbor and the Chrysler Center where the basketball team places right next to each other. So we walked around Ann Arbor, took pictures. We went to the Chrysler Center, and we were walking around, and we were up by the door. I noticed one of them was open. I went in, and we went in and saw him practice. Security guard was kind of eyeballing us a little bit, like, all right, it's time to get out of here.
I'll stay until he says something. Like, the door's open.
I'm like, we're not.
There is no sign that says players only.
We didn't have to pay to get in here, and we're watching them practice. We can't get any better than this.
Nope. All right, so just so you know, Zach.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun. Right now, the best probability that the Rangers have of making the playoffs, they have a 9% chance of getting 9% chance of making the 3rd seed in their conference or in their division, excuse me. And for a wild card pick, they have an 8% chance.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There is still a chance.
Yeah. I knew it was low. I know it's low, right? They have to get back on the winning ways like they did at the beginning of the season.
7-3 Lions.
Yep. Okay. All right, Lions just scored a field goal.
You mean
I'm sorry, the Commanders just kicked a field goal. It is now 7-3 Lions.
With that being said, I think we're done with the Ranger talk and NHL talk.
We were done before we started, but let's continue.
I didn't even want to bring it up today.
Yeah, he wasn't going to talk about hockey.
I call crap on that. You always want to talk about the Rangers.
I love hockey lately.
Fair enough.
But
What was my favorite quote from you today was we were talking about the over and under about the Rangers and the Lightning, and it was 6. And I told you the Lightning covered it by themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna make a bet. I was gonna make a bet on the DraftKings. Should I bet? I was joking to him. Should I make a bet on the over and under 6.5? I think I'm taking the damn over because last time we did it, the Lightning made the over themselves.
I made a joke.
Like the over was like 5.5, and Lightning got 6.
Yeah.
I even asked him who's in goal tonight. It don't matter. They suck. Like, okay.
But by the way, it's just Shesterkin. I haven't got an update on my phone, so it's probably 0-0 still.
It was funny. He's like, I'm not really mad that they gave up. He's like, I'm not mad that they lost. I'm mad that I didn't take it.
Right? I'm mad that I didn't take the over.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care, but I didn't care my team lost. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, 0-0 under the first an hour ago.
Oh, man. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it's still 0-0 into the second.
But the thing is,
Playing
Zach,
Columbus.
I didn't even think they were going to do it. I just said it as a joke. And they did it. They just did it.
I should have known better. But the thing is, we're talking about Shesterkin, bad
Yeah.
game, good game, bad game, good
Right.
game. That was his time to have a good game. He did not have a good game.
No, we did not.
No. I'm sorry, but when sometimes in sports, when we see two high-powered offenses going together, what happened? Okay. So when we see two high-powered offenses going together, it's usually the defense that shows up. Like you got a hockey where it could be 6-5 or 7-8 or whatever. I know it's not that big, but it's usually a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
Like in football, like there's times where offenses don't even show up, and it's like a 14-10 score. Like what the f happened? The defense has showed up. So that's why I made the statement. Yes, our big board this week, as you tell them, we're in Red Sox stuff. We're in honor, not to honor, but Bob Uecker passed away this week.
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Brewers
legend.
legend. Brewers legend.
Just
Did you see what they're doing at his statue? People leaving open beer
Yep.
because it's front row and stuff, and then like the beer cans keep coming out. There's a whole
Yep.
bunch of stuff outside the Brewer Stadium. I say Brewer Stadium because I still want to say Miller Field, even though it's American Family Insurance Ballpark or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because we're the Brewers, we can't be a beer anymore.
Right.
It still should be Miller.
It should be
We're the Brewers.
American Family Insurance Field.
Sponsored by Miller.
At Miller Park.
There you go. The field at Miller Park.
God, it was $1 million idea. I should not be on this podcast.
No, because you should get $1 million. And give me half because I'm a Brewer.
So our big board is top play sponsors that we like.
Yeah.
Well, is it play-by-play or we just said sports broadcast?
Sports broadcasters, like Greg Gumbel passed away a few weeks ago. Now we got Uecker and everything. I mean, those are two ones that I liked watching and listening to growing up. Not saying they're my favorite. I just like listening to them. And Greg Gumbel's way better than Brian Gumbel.
And I know my favorite, I'll be honest, I know he's not a normal sports broadcaster. He has called some baseball games, but Chris Berman, best ever.
I thought you were going to say Pat McAfee. I'm like,
No,
he hasn't
no,
called
no,
a game
no,
yet.
No.
Give it time.
He's called games. He's called wrestling games.
Wrestling matches. I'm eating on the table, Michael.
Home run derby. That's what made it so interesting for me.
Back.
He has like 7 backs, and they're like, "This is ball ever gonna land?"
Yeah, I
And
know.
it's like,
Oh.
And the fans are still looking at my bat. And like,
Yep.
Chris Berman, yeah.
Okay, he's my
NFL
ultimate
primetime.
number one favorite.
NFL primetime.
Oh yeah.
Recorded all those episodes.
Yeah, all the names he gave everybody. Eric sleeping with the enemy and all that. Yeah.
Love it. What was one that he did with Ty? I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah.
That was the one that just popped in my head. I know Ty Law was from the
Yep.
late 90s,
I
early
had to turn the game
2000s.
off, by the way. My phone's at 20%.
Oh no.
My charger downstairs.
What are we gonna
My
do?
wireless.
No.
What about Bob Costas?
Bob? Yeah, I'm not a big Costas fan.
You know who I like lately? We talked about it earlier. Roma, right? Like he
Yeah.
guesses the play, it happens, and then
No, Zach,
exactly. He
yeah.
goes, and then you see his face when he talks about it. He's like, like
Yeah.
whenever he starts making that noise, then he immediately just cut the game off and go straight to him doing that.
Yep.
No, I can't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I mentioned it to you. It sounds like Cosby when he does that grunt and it puts the roofie in the pudding.
Whoa, that just went dark real quick.
Yeah, he's out of jail. It's not
One
my
of the
fault.
greatest broadcasters we didn't mention earlier, I think you mentioned him, Jim Nantz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Jim
right?
Nantz.
Jim Nantz is such a great broadcaster. He broadcasted an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, with
Nice.
Bernie Stinson going for 7 women in one night.
Yeah.
Or 1 week, a woman a night or whatever. He's like, did you use any performance enhancing and stuff like that? But like he was doing it in his mind, right?
Yeah.
But Jim Nantz showed up in his mind and he's giving him an interview. It's like broadcasting.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And I think this was a lot of things that Euchre said in his video or interview with Tom Rinaldi last year before his health went bad was when he did Major League, they said, do your stuff. We're not going to give you a script. Just go out there and do your stuff.
Just call a game like you call a game.
Yeah. I mean, he has the script in front of him, what's going to happen. And of course, he's just calling the game. It's for the movie.
Yeah.
But he just went off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
John Madden was amazing. His his master of the obvious moments. Oh, it's just amazing.
Another
the
one.
winner of the AFC and the winner of the NFC play for the Super Bowl.
Another one.
No doubt.
I can't remember his name. I think he's a Yankee broadcaster. Not Michael K. There's another one, I think.
Mel Tucker?
No, maybe it was the White Sox. Who's the one that said you can put it on the board? Yes, was the home run. I thought it was
Jason Benet.
He's
with the Tigers now. I don't know if that's who.
I thought there was one for. I thought it was, but there was a broadcaster I remember listening to. I can't remember his name, but just that catchphrase, right? When it did a home run, he's like, "You can put it on the board," and when it finally clears, he goes, "Yes." I thought that was with the Yankees.
I don't know.
But I also like Wayne Radio Network, and not because I'm a Packer fan, but when they're calling the game, even when it's the other team, a big play, they sound exciting.
Ken Harrelson, he was with the White Sox.
The White Sox, then that's what it was.
Yep.
The White
He's
Sox.
83 years old.
I remember it was either White Sox or Yankees.
Ernie Harwell was good with the Tigers.
But yeah, with the Packers, like when the other team scores or has a good play, they still sound excited. You listen to other radio network people, the other team, there should be a whole like I heard the Vikings. Sometimes they're dull or they complain about a foul. Wayne and them like still call the game excited, even for the other team.
Yeah,
the Bears scored a touchdown. Caleb Williams, what a pass!
Yeah, I didn't want to say that when they played the Packers, but it's okay.
but they still sound excited, right?
They're not biased,
and that's what I like. When they sound excited.
I'm not looking at you.
Why not?
I don't know. You're only mildly attractive, not fully attractive.
Ooh, I got a face white.
You do a.
Jason says Chris Conrad. Now here's a guy.
Yeah, good
now
call.
here's a guy, but we're also talking. Who's the guy? Was it? No, that's not a name. He's on the Badgers radio network.
You don't even know who's on the Michigan radio network. I watch TV. Not an AM radio anymore.
Well, I hear it on the
Does that still exist?
No, it's probably satellite radio.
What?
So
AM radio. I'm joking around. I know it still exists. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in your car.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Harry Carey.
Oh my God, yes. I don't know how we forgot about him. Probably because he died 35 years ago.
I don't know how you forget about Harry Carey. He's got that Miller genuine draft.
Yes, he does. And his seventh inning stretch.
Take me out to the ball game.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell did him perfect.
Yes, he did.
I mean, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, but he nailed that impression.
Yeah, he did
He's
on
like,
Saturday Night Live.
We're going to try to get Albert Einstein on the show. I'm being told he's been dead 45 years. We're going to get him anyway.
And we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago when I said I like watching on ESPN Plus, the Rangers Network on ESPN Plus. Sam Rosen and John McLeody.
Yep.
Sam Rosen, whenever they score a power play,
Yeah.
like, and that's a power play goal.
Yeah.
So now when I'm like at the Musketeers game or something local and it's a power play goal, I'm in my head, I'm like, that's a power play goal.
Sam Rosen used to work for Fox. He did NFL back in the day. Well, not back in the day. I think he left there about mid 2010s. I'm not sure. Dick Stockton is another one.
But we're talking about Will Ferrell. I was looking that up real quick. I couldn't think of the other guy. I know Sam Rosen. I couldn't think of the other one. Damn, I want to give both of them a shout out, right? We're talking about Will Ferrell, and he's like, if the moon was made of cheese, would you eat it?
I know I would.
I know I would. If you were made yourself out of a meatball, would you eat yourself? I know I would. That's what he said. He would just do the interviews right as Harry Carey, right? Saturday Night Live sketch ever.
Awesome. Well, I was giving you time to look. That's why I brought up Harry Carey.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to comment because I was looking at Sam Rosen.
I did mention Dick Stockton. We saw today Marv Albert and Kevin Harlan.
Yes.
for basketball.
Yeah.
You didn't like Marv
yes.
Albert?
No.
Because he bit somebody?
Okay, when I think one
Mike
more.
Tyson did. He still kept going.
Here's
I don't know
one.
much about that.
You might know this name. Or when you think of college basketball, who do you think of for a commentator?
I don't think of any commentators.
Who do you
It's
think of?
awesome, baby, with a
Dick
capital
Vitale.
V.
Oh, Vitale. Oh my God, I forgot about
From the
him.
3, baby.
Yeah. Vitale.
Guess what? He's cancer free. He's coming back.
Vitale's he's so, I don't know. I hate cliches in sports.
Oh, he
and
does all
is
the cliches.
All the cliches.
Yes, he
That's
did.
all he is.
I think he
He's
invented the
Mr.
cliches.
Mr. Cliche.
It just-
But he's so great.
I am. Yeah.
Mr. Cliche. I think you guys should do like a random North Carolina Duke game together. I think you.
Him and Cliche.
Him and
Mr.
Cliche,
Google,
yeah.
Mr.
Good
Cliche.
Lord, no.
Hey,
Bring
Dick
on
Vitale, if you
podcast.
happen to see this somehow,
Yeah.
some way,
Yeah.
go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah, I'm calling you out, Dick
This
Vitale.
podcast is awesome, baby.
Yo, if we can get him to sponsor us, that'd be great.
He
Yeah.
lives in Tampa,
Does he?
Hey,
Yeah.
Jay, reach out.
right? There's some others.
Did you have another comment? Or was that
No,
earlier?
he's-
No, you just go on up like this guy.
Yeah, he's talking about Chris Collinsworth.
You know, Jay's dad said that, I got the bald head and everything with the glasses. I look like Mike Tirico.
If you're black, yeah.
You look like the white Mike Tirico?
Yes.
I like it. I can follow it.
Mike
Tirico's not
Tirico,
bad.
Mike Tirico does a lot now. He goes to NBC. He left ESPN, goes to NBC. And he's
And I think Joe Tessitore is also in WWE as well.
Yeah.
Talking about commentators, I think he's on SmackDown now.
Now, if I want to go with commentators I don't like, Joe Buck, number one.
everybody hates Joe Buck.
If we're talking about commentators, can we talk like wrestling commentators?
I mean, sure. I mean, they're sports broadcasters, right? They're broadcasting a
What
sport.
most of
Okay, not Pat.
I know
Jokes aside,
McAfee's
not Pat
gone.
McAfee's up there,
I was
right?
going
Right.
to say this before you go. A lot of those broadcasters that Vince brings in do have the play-by-play knowledge.
Well, I think Jim Ross did Oklahoma
yeah,
games at
yeah.
one point.
They're not just guys off the street. They're actual
No,
producers.
one of my favorites of all time, though.
Yeah.
It was WCW team, right?
Why'd we go really silent on this?
Tanay,
Like Mike today.
Mike Tanay, and
Okay.
Tony Schiavone.
Oh.
Those are great broadcasters in WCW. And then, of course, you got to bring up the legends, Jerry the King Lawler and good old JR.
Didn't Jerry the King Lawler have a heart attack on live TV?
Yeah, he had a heart attack on Raw right after his match.
Yeah.
He went back to the commentating table and had a heart attack. They had when they came back from break, like sad news series. Jerry King Lawler just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to laugh, but at the same time, it's like it's sad, but it's like it's just wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I think I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm like, he was just wrestling, so it's kind of funny, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's not funny because he had a heart attack.
Yeah, there's another big one. Vince Scully
Vince Scully.
out of
Yes.
LA, right?
The Dodgers,
Mhm.
Dodgers.
good old Dodgers. I remember that episode when he died on the Ben Maller show because Ben Maller's a big LA Dodgers fan.
Right.
But we can talk all day about
Dick
commentators.
Enberg. Dick
Mm.
Enberg.
There's a big one.
I don't know, Dick.
Well, did I mention it to you about the NFL game day? He's like, that receiver has 5 catches in the game. He's impressive. And I'm like, what, you got a hard on for that receiver, dude? He only has 5 catches. Phil Simms also was on that game, and he says, absolute speed. Well, does absolute speed kill? And he goes, absolutely. I'm like, this game is freaking weird.
Stupid.
But it's funny because you remember it. I haven't played that game in 20 years, and
Yeah,
it's still
fair
stuck
enough.
in my head.
Fair enough.
And then
Fair
Phil
enough.
Simms is drawing on the screen. I'm like, dude, you're not John Madden. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Everybody wanted to do that, John Madden, but he was the only one who could do it.
Well, now it's all computerized. And I'm like, no, this is just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just highlight. I like they highlight the guy. That's better because now you're seeing what they're doing
Yeah.
with these arrows and everything. Like you just bad arrows at Madden, but that was his thing. Now it's like, yeah, we're just gonna take this guy and draw, and then it's just like a yellow line. And
There was one earlier.
I just got.
Was it Joe Buck? When he was doing the Chiefs game, was it Joe Buck who said, they're gonna win the game or something? They said something
No,
like,
they said, and the Chiefs are moving on to the AFC Championship game, and I'm like, we already knew that.
oh yeah, because they didn't get the field goal or a block. It's like it's officially done. I said, yeah, no, duh. I mean, like you really thought they were gonna come back. I mean, I understand they had a chance, so you had to say it. Because like they're officially gonna be over. They're gonna win because they didn't get the field goal or they didn't get the first down.
Field goal got blocked.
And it's like, well, no, duh, dude. Like, they at what point did you thought, oh yeah, they're moving the ball so great? None of the teams really moved the ball that great.
Mhm.
I mean, I was a little.
You had
I
some
watched-
deep passes by the Chiefs that got you in that area, but even when that opening kickoff was 70 yards,
Yep.
it stalled,
the game.
and they went the first play was a 70-yard field goal or kickoff return, and then they got on that drive -1 yard and made a field goal. So,
well, to me, I only watched the second half, on my way here, and when that extra point was missed, that whole team was dejected.
Yeah.
the flag.
My whole thing, I've been saying it all along. The
Just a bit
Chiefs
outside.
just find a way to win. It doesn't matter what they do; they
I
always.
mean, you
just
saw that
find a
touchdown
way.
to Kelsey.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, but he's about to be sacked. He throws it.
Yeah.
He's on his way down, throws it. Kelsey's wide open.
Yep.
Playoff Chiefs.
Yep.
But anyway, let's talk about the promo.
Bravo. All right. So this episode of Three Morons podcast is brought to you by B&L Creative Designs for all your woodworking and jewelry needs. We make cutting boards. We make cribbage boards. We make wine caddies. We make bottle openers. We make bracelets, just like all three of us morons are wearing. We make prayer bracelets. We make rosary bracelets. We make regular bracelets. We make earrings out the kazoo. We got all kinds of earrings. If you like your dangles like like the Texas women do, give us a shout for some earrings. But you can find us online at BL Creative Design BL Creative Design Shop on Etsy or BL Creative Design .com on the regular web. Give us a shout. Yes, I screwed it up too. I know.
No, that's fine. It's a lot of words.
It is.
So we're gonna do something new today.
Yep.
So this person's been asking us.
Yep. You would say
so-
bugging us.
Bugging us. So if you don't know, it's my daughter Zoe and Carl's stepdaughter Zoe. So we finally agreed, hey, you know what? We're not famous enough to where anything's gonna happen to us, so we're gonna bring her on the podcast. So I'm gonna step out here for the next minute, and we will present to you Zoe's Corner.
He's gonna give me a refill while he's gone. Thank you, sir. Zoe's Gossip Corner. She's gonna gossip today.
She is going to go.
All right, speak.
Do they already know why Jake isn't here?
No.
Jake's not here because he's with his girlfriend.
Oh, she's putting out a man's business.
Man,
We're gonna start off with some good gossip tonight, y'all.
that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, keep going.
Okay.
What other gossip you got for us tonight, there, little one?
I called a student a mean word.
No, you
What'd you
didn't.
I called him a puffer fish
A puffer fish? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
because they had because they were licking their lips and nobody liked them. So yeah, because she was licking her lips, she had red under them. So I called her a puffer fish.
You didn't think they were chapped or anything?
No, there was.
What?
She looked like it looked like she had big lips because. So I called her a puffer fish.
Goodness. All right, what else you got for us tonight?
You got 15 seconds. We can get you. How was your basketball games today?
Good. We won. I won. My team won 2, and then the other one won 1.
All right, good job. 2 games, 2 for 2.
We're
Huh?
on 4.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
It is up.
all right.
Okay.
But
Guess what?
so we'll be back for
There
the
we
full
go.
take later when all 4 of us do that.
Yes.
This is her debut.
This
Yeah.
is her debut. I think Zach's getting replaced. I'm not sure yet. Maybe it's
Hey, that's fine. That was my Saturdays are free now.
There you go.
Right.
By the way, the Commanders just scored. It's now 9-7 Commanders.
Nice.
And I think they're going for the extra point.
Overdue.
Yeah.
Oh. 2?
Hey, you do know
I think
it
I
was
heard
to
that.
win. It was to win. I know for sure.
Sean King was the last one to do it. And Mark Sanchez got there with the AFC and NFC championship.
But they never made this.
Never made the Super Bowl.
Brian Robinson Jr. with the 2-yard scamper for a touchdown.
And
Ooh.
the Lions are 3-0 against rookie quarterbacks and have not lost at home, or they're 4-1 at home or something in the playoffs.
This guy.
7-1 at home for the playoffs, which is the NFL record.
This guy just built different than the other
Which
guy.
one?
Jaden.
Robinson?
Jaden Daniels.
Oh, Jaden
He
Daniels.
deserves Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah. And I know we've been throwing Bull Nick. Really?
Who else is gonna get Rookie of the Year for offense?
I don't know, me.
Well, then if you would have said that at the beginning, I would have.
I'll put $1 on
I do
you.
want to think that we
Please
got
do.
our,
Which, by the way,
Give me that $1.
$1 for Cooper DeJean to do an interception would be a great bet.
Yeah, I wanted that one. I would love for him to be defensive rookie of the year. That'd be amazing.
Too bad he hasn't played enough.
I know.
Jared Burns is probably gonna get that.
Who?
The guy from the Rams.
Ooh.
Rather broke up now. I do want to kind of give a shout out to, we're thinking about the people out in California for the fires.
We are. I know.
It's too cold to have a
I
fire.
listened to
I mean, it's not.
a couple podcasts, right?
Mhm.
One of them was Two Bears One Game with Bert Kreischer, and he was talking about getting to-go bags, emergency packs, just in case he gets close to their home. And he goes, my wife's like, go around the house, whatever you really want, get. And so it costs $1. And I was like, I want my clothes, I want my shoes. She's like, she wants her whole damn room.
Yeah.
Like they're making fun about it, right? He
Right.
goes, but then I realized I don't give a damn about anything in that house because he's like, I don't care what we take.
Yep.
Like he went through everything. He's like, there's nothing there that I really need.
Yeah. It's just the
Right.
people.
We got a comment from
Uh-oh.
The mother of Zoe, my wife. She says, "Hi, Zoe."
Bye, Zoe.
Bye, Zoe. Yeah. She'll be back later for the Colt take. So,
Will she?
we agree to that?
Yeah. We said she could answer it if
Answer it, yes.
if
I was
she
gonna say.
understands the question.
Yeah.
yes.
I was going to say, I was
But
like,
she'll be there to do the set. No, why not? She's part of the podcast
Sure.
now.
Jay says the whole show is better with Zoe.
oh, Jay.
Did you not hear that material? That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That
I
was
didn't hear
pretty
it.
Although she did
She called someone a puffer
She did admit to bullying.
Yes, she did.
She did. She came up and told me. So
Hey, at least he was honest about it. So
We didn't know what she was gonna say.
no, we had no idea.
We had no idea.
It was completely unscripted.
we knew she wasn't gonna swear.
We knew that. Yes, she knew better. But we are gonna move on to the college football playoff. I think there's a game on Monday. Is there?
Yes, Monday.
That's
The
what
20th. The same day as the inauguration.
Sarcasm, man.
No, but I wanted to point out, it's the same day as the inauguration.
No. What's that got to do with? What's Trump got to do with Ohio State?
The fact that some people are gonna watch the inauguration, some people are gonna watch college football.
Oh, they're gonna do it at
The
prime time?
inauguration's at noon.
I don't know
What
what
does it
time the
say?
inauguration is.
Inauguration's
I thought it'd be
at
when, I don't know, people are off work.
Nope.
No,
It's at
during
noon.
the day.
It's always at noon.
Oh, because I know there's a concert going on.
Yeah.
And guess who got the prime spot?
Who?
It wasn't Jason Aldean. You know he was trying to fight for it with us. Try that in a small town. I think it was
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood.
Gary Underwood got it.
Someone got it. It was the country singer, but it wasn't Jason Aldean. I saw a clip on that on Facebook.
Yep.
And he's like, you think he's kind of upset that he didn't get the number one,
Yeah.
number one pick
All right. So, college football championship coming up tomorrow night.
Monday night.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Monday to me. Monday night. Who's gonna win?
I had picked Notre Dame.
Why?
Screw Ohio State.
Okay. Well, just because you don't like them.
I think Ohio State can honestly win. I picked Notre Dame because I want Notre Dame to win. Because that story, Marcus Freeman, great young coach, right? They're already talking about him getting NFL head coaching jobs. This whole off the break, one or two seasons.
Hell, you're only one step from getting an NFL coaching job. I mean, come on.
Who,
That
me?
is as bad as they've been lately.
Who?
No,
Zach.
he said I'm one step
He's
away.
one step away
Hey,
from getting an NFL
Bears,
job.
I'm here. You like to get no names. Bears, I'm here.
Yeah. You
Probably
probably
prospects.
coach them better than the others did.
Hey,
Anyway,
look, I'll actually try. I'm a Packers fan. I still try.
right? So Notre
Caleb
Dame.
Williams, just throw the ball. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, Notre Dame. So you think Notre Dame? You
I
like their
think
coach?
I like Notre Dame. The one thing about Ryan Day is still I can't trust him until he wins. But I saw something on Facebook and it kind of pointed out, and it's kind of doesn't make a point, but does, right? Because this is the first year of 12-team playoffs, so there's more harder paths to the playoffs because you're playing different, teams. Because they're like, oh, this is going to be if Ohio State wins, they have the hardest path ever, so they're the best champion. Well, yeah, because there's more teams to go through to get to the championship game.
Right,
It's not just the fact that they had the hard teams out of the other teams, right? They're like, oh, they beat. Yeah, well, any team that makes the championship game has had to go through more teams to actually make it. You had to be better than just 2 games. You had to be better at 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penn State was not Penn State. Wow, Notre Dame was Indiana. Georgia and Penn State.
Georgia was a hard team. I'll
Georgia was
admit
tough.
Georgia is a great team.
Agreed,
Right?
but without their
Penn
quarterback.
State's still a good team, right?
Yeah.
Yes, their first game was Indiana, who hasn't proven themselves.
Mhm.
Ohio State had Tennessee,
Mhm.
Oregon, and Texas. Yes, they had the harder way. Understandable. But any team, even SMU, Boise State, is still harder wins because you still have to win those games
Right.
to get forward, and you still have more games to get through to get to the national championship. But yes, they had to play very tough teams.
Yeah.
But you got to realize Notre Dame has been on another level
Right.
since they lost to NIU. And do you remember what I said a couple weeks ago? I don't know if you were here and we had to do it ourselves or if you were filling in. When Notre Dame lost to NIU,
Mhm.
NIU's head coach reached out to Notre Dame and goes, "Do you want to know
Oh,
how we
yeah, I remember
exploit your
you-
weakness?"
remember you
And
told me
he
that.
took that phone call, and they've been dominant since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think, honestly, if Beck, I think his name was Beck, right? The quarterback in Georgia.
It'd be different.
They'd be tearing everybody up. I think with him at the helm,
I don't know
In
if it was that
Georgia,
great.
their defense was amazing. I don't think you needed that much. He only needed, about 18 to 20 points a game to win because their defense was so dominant.
Isn't Carson Beck transferring?
Yes, he's going to Miami.
right?
Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah. But
And I read that somewhere else too. Number one transfer portal quarterback goes to Miami.
how can he be number one? The dude has a broken arm.